You're not gonna start over.
Well, I can't start over now.
Okay, well, you can hit record and then you and I can talk. At least I tried to come dressed for the part, which was my apron, so I don't mess up my turtleneck.
It's okay. I already hit record, so we're good.
Okay.
So what I am making is spaghetti carbonara.
Ooh, I love that. And I always mess it up.
Really?
I do. So I always say I'll only order it at restaurants because I can't quite get it right.
Well, it's my like first or second time making it. So we'll see how it turns out.
Okay.
So what I have done, so for those of y'all who don't know, carbonara pasta is like pasta and like an egg and kind of creamy, like cheesy sauce. And it's super delicious, and don't worry, the egg will be cooked. But if you can, I'm gonna see if I can turn my computer screen so you can see what the mixture looks like. So what I have done is I have cut up half an onion and I have some pancetta that is like bacon, but the difference between pancetta and bacon is that bacon is smoked and pancetta is salt cured. So where you have to cook bacon, you don't have to cook pancetta. You can eat it raw or you can eat it, you can cook it. The reason you don't have to cook it is because salt actually cooks things when it's cured for a long time. So it's super delicious too. So I cut up some onion and I cooked it down with some pancetta.
That looks delicious.
And crispy.
Can you describe the aroma? Like, what does your kitchen smell like?
It smells like onions and bacon, even though it's bacon. So yeah, so I've cooked my pasta. I'm cooking it right now. It's almost done. And I know some people struggle with pasta. And what I always say is just eat it and see if it's how you like it.
So is your pasta, do you like it al dente or a little bit softer?
I like it al dente on the verge of soft.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So still kind of like firm. But if you cook it a minute longer, it'd be mushy.
Okay.
That's how I like my pasta. Most people don't do that. So for this particular recipe, you have to save a cup of the pasta water. And I used to be one of those people that thought that was a pointless step. It really isn't, because if you're making a sauce that doesn't, or if you're making a pasta that doesn't have like a traditional sauce, the pasta water, which is this goodness right here, actually helps create kind of a sauce. And whatever you're mixing with it, it kind of helps the taste of that adhere to the pasta. So the egg mixture that I was talking about, you whisk it together, you throw a bunch of cheese in it. Can you see that? You throw a bunch of cheese in it and you whisk it together with a lot of pepper. So, like everyone, I read recipes. So what we need to do now, what this recipe called for, was to set a big bowl with some hot water in it until you're done. So I'm going to pour that out now. And I'm going to replace it with the pasta that I just cooked. Oh, I was supposed to dry that out. So while I'm doing this, just in general, pasta is a super easy, quick meal. So I eat pasta a lot because I like it and it's good. And who doesn't like a big bowl of carbs? So now that I have done that, and actually my dish is almost done, and I started cooking at 6 o'clock. So the thing that took the longest was boiling the pasta water. So what I am supposed to do next is, oh, I'm not doing that. Why would you do that? So what this recipe wants me to do is something I'm not going to do because it wants me to add the pasta into the pan with the pancetta and stuff. But I wouldn't do that because if you're making the sauce, bacon grease and pancetta grease is slippery. So the sauce won't really stick to it. So I'm going to skip that step and mix it in all at one time. So if you've ever cooked with eggs or you're cooking them in something and you don't want them to be scrambled, take a little bit of whatever's hot and put it in a bowl and just kind of stir it around. It's called tempering the eggs. So you're just heating them up to the point where when I add it to the big bowl of boiling hot spaghetti, I'm not going to have scrambled eggs.
This is where I messed up, Dr. Lee. It's right here.
So I've added a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit more just to make sure.
You don't have scrambled eggs.
I do not have scrambled eggs. I'm going to show you in a second.
Yeah, this is where I mess up.
So when you're tempering, make sure you stir. So I do not have scrambled eggs. I have a good kind of sauce. So with this, because I have done this now like this, I don't have to worry about scrambling my eggs because this mixture is already warm. So what you do, let me turn this down just a little bit. I am pouring the sauce over my spaghetti. And I'm making sure I scrape. I don't like to leave anything in the bowl. So I scrape to make sure I'm getting all of the goodness out. And you just mix. Now, why have we saved this pasta water? Why? Because I want to make sure that everything gets coated in my sauce. And I would like it to be a little, oh, it smells good. I would like it to be a little creamier. And I want to make sure that the egg and the cheese gets all over my noodles. So, and I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that's creaminess. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Creaminess. And I will show it to you in a minute. I like a little more sauce. And I realize my head is cut off and that's okay. I don't know how people on cooking shows do it. They're just talking to themselves. All right, so here is my carbonara with the eggs all mixed in. You see nothing is scrambled.
No.
And it smells like cheesy deliciousness because there's two types of cheese. So now that I have done that and I have made sure that my eggs aren't scrambled, I'm going to add my pancetta. And I made mine with onions just because I like onions. So I'm gonna mix that up. And I also want to say it's not only taking me 20 minutes because I'm cooking it. It's actually legitimately a 20-minute recipe from start to finish. So let me mix. All right. And here is my carbonara.
That
Nice
looks delicious, Dr. Lee.
and cheesy. Thank you. So I'm gonna set that to the side real quick and just give one of the tips that I had. Another tip that I had, and it was about cutting onions, because I know a lot of people cut onions and they're like, how do I make them all the same size? How do I make them all the same shape? So what I do, and this is from years of watching the Food Network. So I have my onion. It's cut in half because I already used some of it. You cut off this bottom piece right here. So when we cut onions, we normally cut the bottom and the top. Don't cut the top. If you cut the bottom of it and everything still is kind of intact, you can peel off the paper. And so this would be a good tip if you're like, if you need to dice some onions. If you peel off that extra paper, here I have my nice half an onion ready to cut. If you cut like this through the onion. So I'm going to do that. And look, my onion is still intact, but I don't have crazy onion pieces flying all over everywhere. So you, from here, if you cut your lines the long way, just cut across. And you'll see I have uniform onion right here. Well, for the most part, except that one. The edges sometimes don't come out uniform, but the middle pieces do. And I'm not crying. So a quick way to cut them and make sure they're mostly the same size. And I'm not crying. That's an easy way to do that. So that is my carbonara recipe.
Are you gonna demonstrate to us how delicious it is?
I can.
Okay.
I'm not gonna eat it all out of this bowl, y'all. I promise I'm gonna put it on a plate when we're done. Another tip, like when you're cooking pasta, make sure you salt your water because pasta doesn't taste like anything by itself. So salting the water makes it taste like something. All right, this is hot, so. And I'm not
okay.
just saying that.
Yep.
I'm not just saying that because I cooked it. Sometimes I don't always bat 1,000 in the kitchen. But this is really good. So good. And super easy to make. Just remember that tip about tempering your eggs so you don't end up with scrambled ones. I promise it works.
Okay.
And because I am extra, I'm gonna grate some more cheese. Right in my bowl. Just like that. And then I'll probably grate some more when I put it on my plate. So that is my carbonara recipe. And actually, now that I've let it sit a little bit, it's gotten kind of dry, so I'm gonna add some more water. Cook it, you can really do whatever you want when you cook. You saw I didn't follow that recipe 100% and it still turned out delicious and creamy. So, all done.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. Enjoy your carbonara.
I shall. We'll have to do another one socially distanced on a hot plate so you can do it.
Yes. And I won't have scrambled eggs.
You won't have scrambled eggs.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Bye.
All right. Bye.